So I'm very stressed out these days because of one particular reason that I'm going to share with you in this video today. And that reason is, how long are we going to keep paying rents in Canada like we have paid for the past year? Like, as many of you know, we came to Canada in February 2023 and now it's March 2024. So for a year and a month we have paid $1,800 per month in rent in Canada. That summed up for the whole year makes 18,000 Canadian dollars. Add to it the rent of the last month, it is 18,000 and 1,800 Canadian dollars. So that's quite a lot of money that we have put into rent in Canada. And I think how long I'm gonna keep doing this, because what we're doing is that we're not building any equity at all, unlike the people who are paying for their mortgages, who bought their homes in Canada. They're paying mortgages, but part of that mortgage is contributing toward the development of their equity. Let's say they decide to sell their homes in Canada, whatever value their homes would sell at would be their equity plus the profit on that. So even though buying a home is a huge responsibility in Canada, in terms of the fact that you are under the constant depression or under the anxiety that you have to arrange the money to pay the mortgage at the end of the month, but the plus side is that you are contributing your money toward the build-up of equity, something that you can count on in the years to come. Now, having said this, I know as Muslims we are not allowed to take interest, but yes, there are Islamic mortgages out there as well, so there is another way to go about this thing as well. But the thing is that how long will I keep paying rent? And this decision has to be reached pretty soon, because what happens is that I'm already in my mid-30s. There's nothing to hide about this. Everybody knows. So when people buy homes on mortgage, the homes are generally financed for a period of 30 to 35 years. Now, if I don't reach this decision of buying a home today, let's say I make this decision 3 years down the line, add to it 35 years, I will be in my 70s, man, when the home would eventually be paid off. The better I decide, the better I jump on this bandwagon of buying a home in Canada, the more sense it would make for me and for our family. Because God knows how long we are going to stay in Canada, but even if we leave Canada 3 to 4 years down the line, we would have built up some equity that once we sell our home, we would be taking some money with us rather than just flushing the money down the drains that's going into rent. But then there's a challenge of arranging the 5% or the 20% that you need to have a minimum as a first-time home buyer in Canada. The minimum you need to have in hand is 5% of the house's cost, because then you get some grant or some investment from the government as well, and then you have to arrange for the insurance and then the mortgage and all those things to go with it. And then once you are the homeowner, let's say even if you buy a condo, you have to pay a condo fee as well. People think condos are easy to live in, you don't have to shovel the snows and all that, but no, you have to pay a fee for that. That's a condo fee. That's the property maintenance and regular cleanup and things like that you're charged for on a monthly basis. But then yeah, that's the problem, because the houses of the prices of houses have gone so high up that even arranging the mere 5% has become a problem, given the high cost of living in Canada. Like, for a decent sized home or a decent looking home, the 5% would be anywhere from 30 to 35,000 Canadian dollars, and add to it the administration fee and all those transfer charges and miscellaneous expenses that you have to bear upfront and one-time expenses, it makes around 40 to 45,000 Canadian dollars. And then you have to do get the pre-approvals and get the mortgage approved and things like that. Whether you go by the Islamic route, Islamic mortgage, or you go by the conventional bank mortgage, you have to arrange at least 5% money, and then you have to get the pre-approval. You need to do the market research, and you need to buy a home whose location makes the most sense for you, considering your workplace and your areas of interest and the community you would like to live close by and the kind of neighborhoods you want for yourself. So all those things have to be taken into consideration, and all those factors have to be counted in while reaching this decision. But it is a very, 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 very big decision, because right now, the kind of state of mind I have, I feel compelled or pushed to buy a home. But I'm just a newbie here. This also needs to be taken into consideration, that it's been just a year and a month that I have been into Canada. And this is the kind of ideology of or mindset or mind makeup that I've come up with till now. God knows circumstances could roll by in a way that my thought process is molded into thinking that no way should you be buying a home in Canada 2 to 3 months after this, or maybe later on. I might repent my decision of buying a home, because there's also a very big liability associated with it, in the fact that taxes in Canada are a very big reality and a harsh reality. There are very big taxes in Canada. Nearly 37 to 40% of what we earn goes into taxes. Many people do come to Canada to get the citizenship, and once they get the citizenship, they move over to the Arab countries, because if you go and try to find work there as Canadian citizens, you are likely to get far more compensation than what you would have gotten with your original nationality. Let's say you were a Pakistani or an Indian or a Bangladeshi or wherever. But then, if you earned so much in Dubai or Saudi Arabia with a Canadian citizenship in hand, and if you have to pay taxes in Canada on the world income that you are earning, then it kind of balances out, because those countries also have a very high cost of living. Then the savings that you're making there, if they are going into paying the taxes in Canada just because you're a Canadian citizen, then moving from Canada to those countries loses purpose in itself. So what people do is that they tend to break substantial residential ties with Canada, or all ties with Canada, once they move out of Canada, so that their business with the Canada Revenue Agency or the taxing system is done. They don't have to pay or file their taxes once they have broken all those ties. And it's possible that you stay a Canadian citizen and you leave Canada, and you have no home here, you have no relatives here, or kind of no business here. There are a plethora of factors that decide whether